Hello, Janelle here with my recap of this weekend, all these weekends combat sports events. I did make 6 picks, and I made 7 picks, but one of my picks, the fights actually didn't happen at all. So 6 picks, and I actually got 5 out of 6. So it's a great night for me, great 2 days for me. Let's go ahead and get into it. First up on Saturday, this past Saturday, we had UFC Fight Night Vegas number 28. It actually happened earlier than normal. I made 5 picks here. Actually, I made 6 picks, but one of my fights actually didn't happen. Instead, we had Montana De La Rosa get a second round TKO. So let's go ahead and talk about the fights I made picks on. I missed the first pick. I chose Dusko Todorovic to beat Gregory Rodriguez. He did not, and I did not see this fight. I know Gregory won a unanimous decision. I have not watched the fight yet. Someone let me know exactly what happened there. Do you agree, disagree? Let me know what happened there and who Gregory Rodriguez should fight next. Now, next up, this is where I came in. I got this pick. Chose Santiago Ponzinibbio to beat Miguel Baeza, and he did, but whoo, was it a good fight? And boy, was I nervous to begin with. You know, Santiago, he was out for like over 2 years. He got like some kind of white blood cell disease situation, or no, staph infection. Then he got the whole blood cell situation going on after that. So he was out with something that, quite frankly, you almost rather have like a broken leg than something like that drains you, that drains your capacity of your cardio, but your capacity to get back. Like I said, you almost rather have like a broken arm, broken leg, where you do the normal rehabilitation, you're able to get back. What he had is much harder to come back from. So being on like a 5-6 winning streak, being right there on the cusp of being in that title picture in a very stacked division, I just want to see if he can get back after going through all of that. So first round, Miguel came with them leg kicks, hobbled him early, took the first round. I was like, oh Lord. And then Ponzinibbio, I was like, you need to change it up, check the kicks, you need to throw more of your own, you need to mix it up, head body. He didn't really do much of any of that. He just bit down and started head hunting. He just started being first, started initiating the exchanges, taking the center of the octagon, pushing forward, walking him down, and just throwing shots, combinations, but mostly to the head. So much so that Miguel had his hands up here the whole time. The whole body was open. I was like, Santiago, if you hit that body a few good times, he's going to drop those hands, and then maybe you can get the KO. But either way, he was able to bite down. Miguel didn't go out like no sucker. Miguel kept firing back his shots. It was going back and forth. It was a great second and third round, but Ponzinibbio took that second and third round, I agree, with the judges' unanimous decision in his favor. Nice to see him back in the win column, and he even mentioned, like they said, you know, how does your leg feel? And he's like, forget this leg. I almost died. You know what I mean? So the fact that he's back, I'm glad to see him back, and hopefully he can continue to improve. Who would you like to see Santiago Ponzinibbio fight next? Now, next up, I got this pick. I chose Roman Dolidze to beat Laureano Starpoli, and he did 3 rounds. Unfortunately, there was some booing, and this was not the most exciting match. Roman, who is a natural 185er, and you have Starpoli moving up in weight class. He was much bigger than him. You could see that. You could tell. And he was basically, he hugged him. You can't even call it lay and pray, because he barely even had him on the ground, mostly up against the cage, just holding him, holding the dominant position, stifling his movement. Was able to get some takedowns to the ground, hold him down there. Starpoli got frustrated, was like, you know, do more than that. But here's the thing, as Dominic Cruz said during the fight, get out of the position. Don't get mad at him because he's just hugging you and not really putting together any action. Get out. If you don't know how to get out, how to break the arms, how to disengage and get back into space, you can't get mad at him. You kind of got to get mad at yourself. But as Michael Bisping also pointed out, Roman, you're not gaining any fans, you're not making any money, and you're not going to move up in any stats or any rankings off of a performance like that, where it's just like, you got to have that kill instinct. You have to have that finish instinct. You should be always working towards a finish. What he did in that fight, I can't say he was working towards a finish. He was working to win, which he did, unanimous decision, but I can't say he was working to finish, and you should always be working to finish. So who would you like to see Roman Dolidze fight next? Next up, we have the co-main event. Yes, co-main event. And we're seeing, I got this pick as well. I chose Marcin Tybura to beat Walt Harris, and he was ranked number 11, Walt number 8. So he won in the first round. So he should actually jump up quite a few with this one. In the first round, it was actually Walt who hit him with a punch. I can't remember right now if it was left or right. But he actually stunned him, was able to pour on some more, hit him with a couple of shots. He was in trouble, Marcin. I was like, oh, I might lose this pick, but I like Walt Harris, so I was like, it's all right. But Marcin was able to weather the storm, land some shots of his own, get some takedown, ground and pound, and eventually get the TKO, completely flattened Walt Harris out on his stomach with his hands like here and just wailing on him. Ref stopped the fight. Good stoppage, good win in the first round. Yes, in the first round. So this was a great win, great showing for Marcin Tybura. Heavyweight division, all of a sudden, seems like it's getting a little more talented, man, especially that little top 10 and everything that we got going. It's a great thing to see. Great to be excited for the heavyweight division again. So it actually matters. Who would you like to see Marcin Tybura fight next? Now, next up, main event, and I got this pick as well. I chose Jairzinho Rozenstruik to beat Augusto Sakai, and he did in the first round as well with like 1 second left. There was some filling out period. Augusto was doing some work. He definitely looked bigger like I thought he would. He was landing some leg shots. Like I said, he was doing some good work. Jairzinho as well. It was a little bit of reaching, but he was trying to find his range as well. Like I said, they're basically the same length. So yeah, they're basically the same length, even though Augusto was much thicker and looked bigger. This ended, like I said, in the end of the the very end of the of the first round, where Jairzinho landed a combination. Actually, it was a body punch, and then he landed a left and then a right. That left was short, but he could generate a lot of power in small distances, and it tilted that head though, even though it was short and didn't even look that hard, but it snapped that head, came over with the right, dropped him. So a couple of shots later, ref stopped the fight, like I said, with like 1 second left. Good win for Jairzinho. Nice heavyweight division, like I said. I'm excited for it. So who would you like to see him fight next? Now, on to the second event where I made one pick, which was yesterday, Sunday, from Miami, Florida. It was Showtime pay-per-view. So yeah, Showtime pay-per-view. The announcers were Amaro and Diaz, and I did like that combination because you have Maro, who is of course a long-term vet in the game as far as doing boxing, MMA, and even WWE. So he knows what he's talking about. And then you have Diaz and Miro, who are sports fans and who were funny. They made me laugh without taking away from the program. I thought this seemed like they have I've interviewed Maro before, and they just really were having fun together, which made me have fun too, also without taking away from the fight. So I thought there was a good balance there that I always talk about that's missing from the Trilla events. I thought this was a much better a balance. You did have a veteran boxer there, Abner. Oh, I'm sorry, someone let me know his name. Okay, so I had thought that this was all professional fights with just the one exhibition, but I was wrong. The first fight was an exhibition, came in a little late on it, came in on the 4th round, only 4 rounds exhibition, and it was ex-former football player Chad Ochocinco Johnson versus MMA fighter Brian Maxwell or Maxiel. I didn't quite catch that, so I think someone let me know on that one. So that was first, and so I was like, oh, okay, so there was 2 circus matches. So I didn't even know that Chad Ochocinco had been training. I actually had no idea. I knew he'd been showing up to fights and things of that nature, but I didn't know that he was interested. I know he's done other things. He tried track and field. He tried a couple of other things. So he just wants to continue being an athlete, and I can't be mad at him for that. He's 43 years old, Brian being 33 years old. I didn't see the whole match, but I did see the 4th round where Brian did connect with a right that actually knocked Chad down. So he did get that knockdown. I assume he probably won the fight, being as though he has the combat sports experience. But so y'all let me know how that went down. Break it down. Let me know that even despite the knockdown, if Chad still won the fight. But anyway, so there was that. And Chad, he was like, you know, this is a dream come true for me. He seemed really humbled and thankful to be there. Brian was like, if you didn't know me now, now you know my name or something like that. Or now you know who I am. And I was like, no, I still don't know who you are. Anyway, moving on. Then we had 2 actual boxing matches, and we saw Arias beat Hurd, and we saw Baduk get a TKO in the 4th round of, I forget. I'm so sorry. But what I made the prediction on was the main event, and I got this pick. I chose Floyd Mayweather Jr. to beat Big Paul. And he did. And that's not just me saying that. I actually looked at, the expert opinions and all that. Everybody pretty much agrees that although Mayweather won the decision, that the fact that he didn't get a TKO or a KO or not even a knockdown is kind of a bad look for Floyd Mayweather. But the simple fact that they both made probably millions of dollars, Floyd for sure millions of dollars after all is said and done with the pay-per-view buys and all of that, Big Paul, that's what, again, I say Big Paul, Little Paul, because I always get their names confused. So Big Paul, after all is said and done, probably made a few millions as well. So when you think of it that way, both parties won. There were no judges. There was no declared winner. I'm saying he won just like everybody else through just my eyes, seeing what we saw. Probably 3-5, or 5-3, Mayweather. So it started off with Mayweather trying to find his range, basically walking into him, standing in front of him, letting him hit him. At the end of the first round, there was even a little flurry from Big Paul. I think I don't know Big Paul's name. There was a flurry from Big Paul, and let me say that form, honey. I guess he's been training less than Little Paul. You can see that less years. You can see that he was a lot of hammer fists and like this going on. And just from the few little lessons I have, I'm like, where's the twerk? Where's the, and the hands here? The hands were never here. They were never here. They were always here. You know what I mean? So as someone was, when he did get hit with a couple of shots, someone's like, oh, he wouldn't have got hit with it by the if he was holding the phone. I was like, I don't know if he knows what holding the phone is. Standing in front of him, there was no shoulder rolls, defense. There's really no footwork. He did all that he could do, was just use his size. He outweighed Floyd by probably like 30-40 pounds. Someone let me know exactly what it was. Probably like 45 pounds. Clearly a lot bigger than Floyd. Floyd is not as fast as he used to be. You can tell that he hasn't been training like he used to be when he was a professional boxer. You can tell that this is something that he's doing to stay in shape. He let him get away with too many rounds. Because you're not training how you used to be, and because he's so much bigger, you have to know that it's probably going to take a little bit more before you can get that TKO or at least get a knockdown. So you probably should have started earlier. He waited like until the 4th round before he kind of turned it on and actually started to hit him. It took like Big Paul actually landing a decent shot before him to do that. He shouldn't have done that. He should have turned on the jets earlier. Take the first round, maybe first round and a half, to get your range and distance, because he's so much longer. I think they said he was the longest opponent he's ever fought. So knowing that, take the first round for maybe even the first 2 rounds to figure that out, but then you got to turn on the jets in round 3, because it's going to take a little bit more, because not only is he so much bigger than you, you are not training like you used to. You're not who you used to be. So obviously saw the form difference. One of the things that you really saw that was different with Floyd was not throwing those shots in between the transitions, in between when they get broken off, throwing that shot before they get fully broken. There was plenty of moments in the clinch and stuff where Big Paul's entire body was open. Normally Floyd would have taken advantage of that, taken advantage of a lot more open body. There was just a lot of shots where he was wanging, where he was telegraphing his shots. So again, Floyd's not who he used to be. And it showed. So that's why people are saying this wasn't the best look for Floyd, other than the fact that he just made a ton of money for essentially a rigorous workout. Essentially, that's what that was. So when it got to about round 7, I realized, he's probably not going to knock him down. He was reaching to the point where there was some shots that Big Paul saw coming. So even though he was tired and gassed out by about round 5, like I said, if Floyd would have worked on him earlier, I think he probably could have gotten a TKO or something like that, at least a knockdown by round 7 or 8. But he took too long. But he still won the fight. They're talking about, I guess, him fighting Little Paul. I don't know what's going on after this. But maybe this is a better design by having 2 legitimate fights sandwiched in between the circus shows. Maybe that is actually the way to do it, to try to find that balance for the future and the future Showtime pay-per-view events. I don't know, try to incorporate actual boxing to try to get more eyes back on actual boxing, and then incorporate, like I said, maybe the musical acts. I don't know. I'm trying to help you out, boxing. trying to help you figure this out because this is your fault. You guys let room for this. So that's it for now. If you're still here, please, thank you very much. Please comment so we can get the discussion going. Please let me know how you're doing on your picks, any injury updates. Please follow me on all platforms where I do have last minute picks and renegs and all of those things. You have to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, Snapchat, all of that. Please share the videos. Please like the videos. And I think that's it. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say. Oh, it was nice to see Logan say that he really appreciated being in the ring with Floyd. And I couldn't help but thinking myself as I was watching this, like, oh, just how lucky he was. And I couldn't help but think just the opportunity, how many other boxers, athletes, period, would love to have that experience and essentially have this type of a training session with Floyd Mayweather Jr. And it's just to go to show how I'm always pushing MMA fighters. Like, I know it sucks, but you have to push your social media and the media and push your personalities forward, and you have to connect with people so they want to see you fight. And this is just a prime reason why. It's not just sports, but it's sports entertainment. And sometimes you can get farther faster if you focus a little bit more on the entertainment part. And that sucks, and it shouldn't be that way. But when you apply that to real combat sports, boxing, MMA, if you focus a little bit more on the entertainment side, I know it's hard and you shouldn't have to do it, but you can skip lines, man. And just seeing this kid in the ring with Floyd, I was just like, gosh. If I'm a young and up-and-coming boxer athlete, I'm looking at this like, ugh. And he got paid millions to do it. So anyway, like I said, follow me on everywhere. Subscribe, like, talk to me, take care, and goodbye.